God bless us with a wonderful day to be off. And for some of us to play golf, some of us to play in the backyard, and somebody go fishing, cut grass, enjoying themselves, taking care of those honeydews that never get gone. We do appreciate it. I called Heather yesterday morning on my way into work, and that's important, on my way into work. And she had a bad stuffy nose and cough. How do you feel about it?
Thank you.
And I told her, I said, well, when I get in there, the commissioner, this is president, so we're not welcome to that. So I turned around and went home. We did some of those honeydews that we did, that we were going to do, but I had a check up there that I had to deliver to the city council. Looks like it worked yesterday. So it should. I came back up and did that, and I did see, I saw more people walking down the hall of the courthouse when it was closed than I have normally. And it was all of our general service people working on the door entry system. I want to tell you that everyone was involved and everyone was engaged and everyone was very professional in what they were doing and very courteous in the manner in which they addressed everyone. So while we're waiting on, they'll tell you what they got going on. I think what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and begin at 5 after. We'll go ahead and start there, let you begin your committee meeting, but I'd like to begin with a word of prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for this commission. Thank you for this management team. We thank you for the opportunity to serve the citizens of Jefferson County. As we go about to transact this business today, dear Lord, we ask for wisdom, strength, courage, and guidance to stay on the right path and do the right thing. Dear Lord, thank you for all you've done for us. Thank you for this county. Thank you for the leadership that we have and the ability that we have to get along. Lord, we ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Mr. Bowles, begin with you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me go forward. We have an out-of-state visitor this morning that we have a little bit of business to do with. I guess we'll take ours in reverse order. You'll give your presentation after the first one I'd like to take care of would be number 2 under Economic Development, RL Carriers, Shared Services, Johnson Senate. This is my recollection of a Florida concern. It is a Florida concern. We have so many concerns. It's a concern somewhere. We're broke.
They walk into it like the Elvis play.
I mean, don't we have to vote first?
No, we ain't great.
Hey, listen, when I said this would be brief, I only saw him in the hall.
Yeah, they added a few more while we were waiting.
You know, and I was blessed to sit in the chair of the previous commissioner that handled economic development. There's nothing, well, there's a lot of things I like better, like doing that park last week, but there's nothing I like better than our economics development group, spearheaded by the next speaker, bringing businesses to the county or expanding businesses within the county. Because once that happens, everybody on Friday is going to get a paycheck and go home, works there, and take care of their family. And the more we do it, you know, it just makes my heart glad. So with that being said, Jeff, I'd ask you if you could take number 2 first, R&L Carrier Shared Services, LLC.
Yeah, I can do so. So before us today is a request from R&L Carrier Shared Services, LLC, for a jobs grant related to an expansion of their current operations here in Birmingham. The company is a logistics company. They currently have a facility here off of 78, I believe, Valley Industrial Park. And they are looking to relocate to a piece of land within the city that would give them land for additional expansion and capacity. This project would carry with it 65 new jobs beyond what they currently employ in the area, and a capital investment of $36.1 million. We've run the cost-benefit analysis on this project, done our typical due diligence. Over the life of the project, we estimate it will generate about $1.6 million in positive revenue beyond any incentive assistance that the county would give this project. That would be monies to the general fund, and then $1.1 million to school funds within the county. With us today is Jeff Hong with R&L Carriers. He can give you a little bit more of an overview about the company and their plans. Additionally, we have Alex Patrick with the Birmingham Business Alliance. If you have any questions about the cost-benefit analysis, that's included in the packet. And we also have their legal representation here as well from Bradley. So at this point, I'll turn it over to Jeff to tell you a little bit more about the company.
Sorry about that aside. First, thanks everybody for entertaining us today. I really appreciate all you being here. Just a little bit about R&L Carriers. R&L Carriers was started by a husband and wife that both dropped out of high school in 1965, Larry Roberts and Mary Roberts. He started with just one truck, grew as a Mayflower driver for a while, going all across the country. And as he was doing that, starting a family, it became hard to be away from home. So he started doing more and more localized type stuff. And what he found himself into was the LTL, or less than truckload market, which is where it is today. Why is that so important? Because he found himself being able to be home every night. So as we continue to grow through our tenure over the last 60 years, we were able to get our drivers to clock in the same place, to clock out every night, so they sleep in the same bed every night. They're home every night. So the important thing about what we're bringing to the table, our drivers, which is the majority of our employees, actually clock in and clock out the same place every day. They're home in the same bed. So not only do they work in the area, they live in the area. But R&L Carriers, you can start very humbly with one truck to today having 12,000 on the road today. So we're one of the top LTL providers. And if you understand what LTL is, it's a market that is one step above package. And if everybody kind of understands package, you get your FedEx envelope, your UPS. We're very similar, but we deliver odd type objects like exercise equipment or tires or engines, something that won't fit, someone's not going to carry it in your door. We're going to crate it in your door. So that's kind of what we do. We're not like a Schneider or a J.B. Hunt. We don't take one big truckload to one place to the other. We have several deliveries on a truck. So you'll see us pick up a delivery every day in the area. Over the last several years, we started to go through a strategic review, which we do every 10 to 15 years for our capacity needs. And going across the country, this area, Jefferson County, was one area that was vital to our search, because not only did we see our capacity shrink here, in other words, we're at capacity, we had no room to grow. So we have a couple of options when that occurs. We can either go to partners, push freight off to somebody else, or we can move freight to some of our other terminals, which we have several around here, Chattanooga, several in Atlanta area, Tupelo, a lot of places around here that we could shift that freight to. Or we can expand in our current location, which we have no room for expansion there. And we bought that facility, I think we started in Alabama in 1989, so we've been around for a long, long time. And in Jefferson County, this particular location, we've been here over 20 years. And we just outgrew it. So it's time to do something different. And what we're planning to do is build a new facility. And it's been about 2 years in the making, because we don't take these decisions lightly, because we're doing several of these across the country. As you heard, it was a $36 million investment. And I will tell you, when we started this thing 2 years ago, it was a $19 million investment. And it's not because we added a bunch of stuff. It's just because the cost they haven't doubled. We did add a little bit of expansion. We went to 140 doors. The whole setup is about 140 doors now, with expansion of 50 more doors. And then we have an 8-bay maintenance shop, which is going to be more of a regional shop, as well as a fuel island and a truck wash and an office. All that's about 125,000 square feet. with another 30,000 square feet to come in the future. So it's expandable. This is 68 acres. We're on 15 acres now, so we couldn't do this on our acreage. We have a unique setup too. We have a cross dock setup, which is about 100 foot wide. So we need this kind of land to do that. Where we're at now, we have half our facilities that size because we bought it. We didn't build it. We added on to it in, I think, 2001. And we added our 100 foot wide docks. And if you look at our dock space, the other part of it's 60 foot wide, and we can't really maneuver very well that way. So this will allow us to maneuver. Not only that, we have 129 current jobs at our facility, which includes full-time and part-time. We're looking to add, as you heard, 65 over the next 3 years. That's 50% of what we have today. So we do see a great expansion in the area. This will service all, basically, the middle from Atlanta over to Tupelo, just that whole area. We do have a handful of other facilities in Alabama still that will help connect these dots together. So we're currently about 130 terminals nationwide. We are national. And if you ever see one of our builds, this is what it actually looks pretty close to what you'll see a final product look like. As terminals go, they're very pretty. As a house, maybe not, but terminals are very pretty. And we do take pride in what we build out because our employees are everything to us, and without them, we don't have this. So we want to make sure it's a place for them to be able to call home.
And for Commissioner Tyson's benefit, just real quick, I'll go back over the numbers, but what we're looking at is a proposed jobs grant with a cap of $105,000 for the new eligible jobs that would be created over a 3-year period for this project. This would be a District 1 project, $36.1 million in capital investment, 65 new jobs, average wage just under 26 an hour. And we estimate over the life of the project a return on investment to the general fund of $1.6 million and the schools of $1.1 million.
We're very familiar with this company. I'm very familiar with this company. Y'all deliver to Motion Industry and Genuine Bars.
Yeah.
I used to handle y'all account.
Oh, really? Awesome. Well, thank you for that.
All right, there's a no vote. Hey, I have a couple of questions. Where are you presently located?
Here in Alabama, we are at Valley, or 39, I can't remember the exact address, but Valley Industrial Boulevard, which is...
It's enough.
Yeah, right. We've been there for at least 20 years.
How many trucks do y'all have locally? Is this
That's a good ballpark.
Yeah.
Probably 80. That's a ballpark, though. I can give you exact numbers if you like.
Are y'all presently in the city limits of Birmingham?
Yes.
So we don't have any.
Yeah, this would be a good neighbor.
Okay. We'll get no trouble.
This is a national company.
We are national, yeah.
Looks like they're giving 3-1, 2-1. And we had voter sales tax in Birmingham. Look on your second page. Or back.
Look on the first page, right in the middle on the right.
Yeah, that 9.6.
Yeah, 9.6 to 1. The city reduced the price of the land a little over $1 million.
And the land is in,
National Bank Industrial Park. What's your timeline?
I mean, we like to start off, as early as May and 12-month build, within 12 months. We've done, one thing we do these days is because we have to, we do this across the country, as we said, we're national, but we find that it's very important to literally get to the point where you have a permit in hand before we can make a final decision. We've made some false starts in other areas where we thought we were in a great place to build, and they pulled the rug from under us. We did go through the whole process. So this has been 2 years in the making. So we want to make sure we get all the way through. So why I'm saying that is we're ready to go when it's time to go.
I moved the project.
I'm sorry?
I moved the project.
It's like, what? Move the button. Wait.
Moves my name.
All right,
And I second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye. She said, she tried to second, so she's gonna say aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much.
Thank you all
Good
very
luck.
much for your time. Thank you.
Mr. President, second matter I'd like to get into would be the first one under economic development. And this will be in the nature of a report based on the handout that Mr. Trawick is passing out to commissioners right now. We don't want to delay the meeting, but at the same time, we're right proud. I wasn't here last year. Right, the whole year. Quite proud of what the county and its economic development advisor and the county manager have done this past year. So we're going to have a report now from Mr. Trawick. Mr. Trawick.
Skip Cal. All right, so we just got finished compiling our data for 2023 and making sure that everything was accurate. And just wanted to present the commission with this very brief one-page report of what we've seen during 2023. So last year, the county touched on at least 40 projects within the county. Of those, we incentivized 19 projects, and those projects were either incentivized or announced, I should say. And those projects represented about $475 million in capital investment within the county. 816 new jobs announced with an average pay of $29.32 an hour. For reference, as of last week, the average pay in Jefferson County was about $27 an hour. So these projects have been paying higher than average. And we also invested $3.9 million in the acquisition of new industrial park land in north of Jefferson County. So it's been a very active year last year. I'd love to answer any questions if anybody has any. Talk to you one-on-one about more details, more data if you want it. But I figured I'd present y'all with this just so y'all know what we've seen this past year. Any questions?
Well, this will lead to some questions, but I'll talk.
All right. Okay. Well, no questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you for your report. Thank you for the work that you and the county did this past year. I was there for half the year and saw it, and it's a good go. I'm very proud to be a part of this team. Thank you. All right, just to get rid of me, I'll slip on down to other business. First one, number one, is an appointment to the Jefferson County Housing Authority Board based on the retirement of the predecessor, Mr. Scott McFadden.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Go ahead, excuse me.
No, I was just asking who he should place on that board. Remember?
Who's on another board?
Right.
Yeah, he filled one up.
That's right. Okay.
All right, and the second is a community grant to Vestavia Hills Sunrise Rotary.
I move it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much, and that will finish, Mr. President. Thank you for letting me go first.
All right, you wanna go ahead?
Yeah, let me get over to my part here.
We'll just go back.
All right, finance, Ms. Dixon.
Good morning, Commissioners. We have 11 items under finance. Item number 1 is our unusual demand report. Item 2, 3, 4 through 7 are our normal encumbrance report, purchasing exception report, purchasing agenda report. Item number 9 is our PACA partnership with the University of Montevallo. Item number 9 is our procurement card statement for Regions Bank. Item 10, procurement card statement for Jefferson Credit Union. And item number 11 are disposals for fixed assets. Do we have any questions on any of those items?
Do we have a motion?
I'll move 1 through 11.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Thank you.
I do have one question.
Aye.
What checks and balances do we have in place on these procurement cards? I know that it's credit card, and there's some that are issued to the different departments and the department heads, very similar to the gas card that we have. And I know we have an audit process on the gas cards. We used to have an audit process on the gas card to make sure that what you had, that's the reason you take your mileage, and that's the reason why you take your number. And they add up to the number of miles you've been and the average gas mileage you get, and if there's a discrepancy in there, they go back and take a look at it.
Yes, sir.
Been there and done that and understand it, but we had a lot of problems way back when we first took over. And we had also had problems on the procurement cards. Mr. Knight can remember that. So I wanted to ask what type of checks and balances we have in place. I'm familiar with the gas.
So we do have a process that we have proposed and are working through. It has not come.
Proposed and are working through. We don't have.
So we have receipts that we receive. However, that's just the finance department reviewing it based on, what we expect. But the policy related to that has not been updated. And so we do have some changes to the policy that came out as a result of the audit from last year. So we have worked through that. I think legal has looked at it, but it hasn't come before the commission. But we do need some structure around that so that we in finance can hold the departments accountable. Because right now it's just really kind of a finance-led initiative.
During my first term in office, we had to look at all of the procurement cards and also the encumbrance and check register every Friday morning before we release those.
Okay.
We're not engaged like that now because we did put in those fiscal policies and things where management staff will be able to do that. I want to encourage y'all to continue that, and if we do not have a process in place, if we get one in place quickly.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner, I would add, we have a limit of 5,000 on most of them.
On average, but then sometimes it changes depending on the needs of the
All
department.
the statements are brought before
The commission
like
for review.
this. So every single purchase is in the background, information on the reports. And,
I just question who's looking at it.
I assure you, I look at it every 2 weeks when I was out. But, if that's the checks and balances,
Well, finance looks at it first.
I'm not concerned about it. The checks and balances were put in place so we wouldn't have to do that.
I understand that, do it anyway.
But I'll be happy to sit with you all to find out what those challenges were prior so that we can make sure whatever process we implement
That'd be great.
covers all of those things.
Appreciate that.
but yeah, finance looks at them, Commissioner Knight, and, all the purchases are brought before the commission on the resolution.
Well, this is, no, it's not, you can't count this. If we do that, we're gonna start asking for all the information and meet each week to go over that, something like, you don't want to do that. All we want to do is to make sure that there's a proper checks and balances in place in your finance department to make sure that this money's being spent where the citizens need it. It's not hard. It's just, you can do an occasional audit, say, checks and balances and full invoices, check and see. 95, 99% of them are going to be right. Every now and then you're going to find one and you can go back and check the pattern, practice, behavior, and you can see what's going on. A lot of this was occurring, and I just wanted to make sure that now that we're up and going again and everything looks good, that we continue those practices that we had that put us in the shape we're in.
Well, I guess my question is, what would you recommend other than what we are doing?
Well, they said they had a process that they were trying to get into place.
Yeah,
And
so,
that's what caught my ear.
yeah,
Is
so
that,
we actually.
if it's not in place, when you're trying to get in place.
Well, we do have a process. However, with any process, there's always improvements, and so we recognize that there are improvements that are desired in the process. We do get the receipts. We review the receipts, make sure that, the state laws are being followed, so that is something that we currently do. However, we do recognize there are some improvements that we need to make in the process, so that's why we want to work through the policy to kind of give us an opportunity to standardize that practice and to make sure that the commission, is on board with what we're doing. So it just needs to be documented.
Well, when you memorialize those processes, would you give each commissioner a copy so they can check it? So,
That's part of the review process that we bring it to you. Okay. Under Budget Management Office, we have our multiple staff development, individual staff development, and our information items.
Do I have a motion?
we'll move.
All in favor, please say aye. Okay, thank you. All right, coming over here to item number, page 12, absentee election manager, Birmingham Division. Is this a prepayment for absentee election manager services?
These are done bi-weekly,
Value.
not prepayment. He's done, the invoice is submitted every 2 weeks. So it's not a prepayment, it is done bi-weekly.
Move the item.
Have a motion.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. All right, I have,
I moved to $3,000.
okay. 2 public service and 1 infrastructure. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. My report.
Administrative Infrastructure Committee and presentation of how government rules, whatever that is.
I think that's just placeholding for.
Placeholder for the
Thursday.
agenda on Thursday.
Yes, sir. Most people will be here present for those awards.
Rebuild Alabama fiscal year 23. Rebuild it for an annual report. That will be the same thing. You want to do it now?
So this is just, usually we have to submit this to the state. This is just our report that's come to the commission before it goes to the state. And what that shows, every year we have to use 50% or more of the Rebuild Alabama dollars on contracts. That's just showing you what we did in fiscal year 23 on contracts.
Number 3, North Chapel Road Project, payment for track 32. Caldwell Mill Road Project, payment for track 47. Funding agreement on Macashan Drive Road Widening, phase 1 and 2. Requested amount $200,000. Property sale is the old Salvation Army building. I think we discussed that in our last meeting, or meeting before last.
So we're only selling the building, we're not, somebody asked me, I don't know where I was somewhere, said something about the service station.
Yeah, I think we covered, no, it's the Salvation Army building and the little lot there with it. I think it's fenced in.
Right, the parking lot's fenced in, it's not the sheriff's gas station in Atlanta State.
Yeah, somebody asked me, being messy.
It's just,
I think it's,
Bunch
as
of
you
truck.
recall, the appraised value,
It was 800.
the appraised value is more than y'all had purchased it for, so.
yeah, 8 something.
And I guess the people that
Y'all ain't about a little juke joint next though.
Well, I suppose we're
Don't be messing with the juke joint.
That sits behind there, right?
It's on the, right on the side. Right there.
All right, we have surplus property on Old Patton Chapel Road. It's no longer needed, it's due to the recent construction and relocation of Patton Chapel. Is that part of that subdivision, is that in the back? Tell me where that property is.
So that's actually on the other side of the street. There's one property owner owns both those adjoining lots, and we're already in conversations back with that property owner to sell that piece back to them, and they're going to combine it to one lot.
Okay.
They're on the south side of that construction, right there at the corner of 31 and Patton Chapel.
I knew that we had some trouble with the subdivision there about the sprinkler system and something that was on the right of way. I had been in conversation with Heather about it.
That's further down the road.
Yes, sir.
Further down the road.
Polo Trace, yes, sir.
Okay, polo truck, did we ever get them straightened out there?
Yes, sir.
Right. You know, you never hear you only hear when it's bad. When they fix it, you gotta ask.
That's right.
So you know how that is. Jefferson County City, a Fairfield DOT raise grant. You want?
Yes, sir. So this was part of the BIL, the Infrastructure Federal Grant System that the City of Fairfield, in partnership with many partners, Freshwater Land Trust, Miles College, DJCTA, Birmingham, and the county, we own a little piece of that. There's Martin Luther King. We have about a mile stretch of maintenance there. We came in conversation with Freshwater Land Trust representing the City of Fairfield. Fairfield just asked for the county to be the fiscal agent of that sponsorship. This resolution is just saying if Fairfield is successful in that grant, we will then manage the money in the contract.
Sound like a good deal.
And it matches our bike ped plan for the county too.
And it's not done yet, it's pending, right?
Yes, sir.
For the grant.
This is for the application.
This is an if awarded, yeah. It's a good project.
Chair would have had a motion to approve that.
So,
Moved and second, all in favor, say aye. All right,
Commissioner,
we have-
can I introduce my deputy director real quick? I've been
Well, sure you
a
can.
bad manager. I have not done that. Wendy Shelby, new deputy director. She's been here about 4 months. I should have brought her earlier.
Where you been hiding?
Yeah, he keeps me pretty busy, so.
Where are you from, Wendy?
Maybe I need her number to study your number.
I'm actually from Tuscaloosa. Born and raised in Tuscaloosa. So
Right,
I'm happy to
right.
be here.
We're happy to have her. She's been an asset already.
Thank you.
So,
Good welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll be in touch.
All right. I look forward to it.
Theo, anything on you about his claims for the minutes?
no, sir.
No, what's
We did
done?
from the February the 8th, and then we have 8 claims. No, 7 claims, and then the opioid settlement grant. Let's probably need to talk about that opioid.
This is just,
settlement.
over the past couple of years, we've had monies that we've settled from various opioid settlements with us in the state. And those monies have very specific uses, so we thought it was important to put something together in place when folks make any kind of applications for those. And it's very similar to what you do with your community grants, but we wanted to have some guardrails and some things in place to make sure that any applicant can follow those things. So it's very similar to what you do with your community grants, nonprofits, but it has to be, monies have to be used for those approved uses in the settlements.
You know, I think did we ever distribute that money to the, we never did distribute.
There's been no distributions. This is kind of a precursor to make sure that we have.
To make sure you
To
have
make
a
sure it's
process in place
processed.
to do that.
Correct.
Some of our fire departments are underfunded. Some of the ones, you have several, and I do, and you do, that need the Narcan. And this is, they can use this to apply for a grant to help them purchase Narcan to save lives. And so I appreciate your engagement in what we do on that. We want to do a smooth process in there because it's kind of an intergovernmental transfer, whether it be City of Fairfield or Midfield or Hueytown, or I don't think Hueytown has that problem, but there's several, including all of the fire districts, that it costs them like $220 for each shot that they give them because it's a different formula than what they have and the ones that the health department give out. So thank you for questioning, everyone appreciates it. Yes, ma'am.
How will the private districts find out about this grant?
It'll be on the application will be on the website. I will tell you that most of your public safety entities are pretty much aware of it. It's been out for a while. We just have not had a process in place to do that. But most of them are relatively familiar because they treat those kind of things all the time.
Most of them have met right here and in this room.
So is it the larger municipalities? Is places like Lipscomb and Brighton?
It's not restricted like that.
No, but they are aware of it. I will let them know today.
Yeah, I think most of your fire departments are aware, but it'll be on the website. But we'll be happy if you got some specific folks. We'll get with.
And you probably have given us this before. Is there a list of uses that money can be used
It's
for?
attached. We have all of our settlement agreements with all of our various pharmaceutical folks. It's similar as it was drafted, and it's attached to your the program, to your backup documentation.
Yeah, we had problems with the backup earlier. Got it out now.
That was suggested. I'll make sure you get a copy of the settlement.
Okay.
We have those.
All right.
Did we second?
I moved it.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Cal, you got 4 amendments to the ARPA fund. You want to handle those?
Yes, there's no money involved. This is just time extensions on all these programs. Things shall be agreements, money that we all had. I believe Justin's online if you have any more questions. No money included in these time extensions.
Chair, entertain a motion 1 through 4.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye. All right, Helen has no business to transact, nor do I. So that concludes my report, and we're going to submit the file.
Good morning, Commissioners. Sorry, I'm mistaken. Grandma duties. We have nothing for Cooper Green. We're actually doing a presentation today for Cooper Green at another location to the, I think it's about 7 ministers. About program they're going over there.
Where?
To the Bible College. And just inform the community about the Cooper Green is still local. So I can just say that, or nothing for the coroner's office. Department of Community Service, Dr. Hamilton.
I don't look like that.
Good morning, Commissioners. We have 11 items today for you to consider. First being UAB Jefferson County Forensic Case Management Amendment Number 1. This is just a no-cost extension through the DOJ to extend it until September 30th of this year. Item 2 being the UAB Board of Trustees SAMHSA 5-year Amendment Number 1. This also is an extension to September 30th, 2024. This is for our drug court. 3, 4, and 5 are all HUD agreements. The ESG grant agreement, the home grant agreement that we received from them, and 5 being the CDBG grant agreement. Just requesting approval for those. Number 6 is the Salvation Army CARES Act. This is just an extension of the end date to July 15th, 2024. There are no funds required for that. Number 7 being UAB grant agreement. It is a resolution for this grant for $1.5 million, not to exceed $502,000 a year. 6 being our drug court agreement with UAB. 8, I'm sorry. Number 9 being UAB grant agreement contract number 1, which was initially done in 2019. This is also an extension for 12 months to September 30th, 2024. Number 10 is a cooperation agreement with the county line for their storm shelter. And number 11 being the villas at York. This is through our HUD. Do we have any questions about it?
I do. What, on number 2, what's the acronym, SAMHSA?
So the SAMHSA is for mental health. It is a program through UAB. It is our Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
And number 6, there's no issue on the CARES Act timeline?
Correct. This was approved to go out until July the 15th, so they could expend the rest of those funds.
And what is, on number 7, what is the treatment court? I know we have drug court, is that the same?
Correct. No, that is actually separate. The treatment court, that is through the DOJ as well. It is very similar. It's just a new contract. So this one goes up until the new expiration date on it would be 9/30/2026.
And I guess my question is, what's the difference in a treatment court and a drug court?
The drug court, they specifically do wraparound services, intervention treatment, continuum of care. It ended 9/20/29/23, and the DOJ gave us an extension for that. The number 7 that you see is a brand new agreement that will go forward all the way to 2026.
Okay.
You understand it, Dr. Carter?
Is there a difference in the treatment court versus drug court, or is that just the same thing, but just worded it different?
It's worded a little different with the treatment court. With the drug court, they did not specifically focus just on treatment. It was kind of a more inclusive continuum of care type of service, but this specifically is for drug treatment.
The drug court determines that you need to go to treatment.
Correct.
From the crimes that you have committed. And then you go to treatment court,
Well,
they assign you to a place where you can get treatment at.
Right.
Here's an alternative, you want jail, right?
Well, that's what drug court was really designed for, as an alternative to going to jail or pleading guilty.
Because everybody don't fall on the drug court. You can say you're on drugs, if you don't test positive, you don't fit that category, and you have to go to jail and be punished for your crime you committed because you weren't on no drugs. Because you'll be surprised if you come. But I'm on drugs, and I need to put drugs quick because they don't want to go to penitentiary.
You know a lot about this.
Yeah. I was over in West Jefferson last week.
Thankfully, you keep.
They let me go.
Move on to 11.
It's been first and second. All in favor, say aye. We're down to the sheriff department. Wayne Rogers.
Yes, Commissioner, thank you. I can explain this one. So this happens every year. This is the money that comes from the Indigent Care Fund that is transferred over to the Sheriff's Office to pay for those services that are conducted for medical care outside of the jail. Most of this money ends up going to UAB. UAB is our place of choice to take folks when they leave the jail. So this covers like the ambulance to take them to jail if they need to be, to take them to UAB if they need to be taken there. The treatment that they get at UAB, because we have our own internal contract that covers all the medical care inside the jail. This is for all the medical care that has to be done outside the jail in other places for anyone who's indigent, which is the majority of the inmates, of course, at the jail. Any questions about that, Commissioner?
Wayne, this would be a good opportunity to state your operational changes. I think some of the things that you've done to improve the efficiency over there and to reduce the cost. I know there is when this contract came up, that you switched carriers.
We did.
And you've been very pleased and satisfied with what you have so far.
We certainly have.
And you saved how much money?
We saved about $2 million.
All right.
Over the,
That, you know, that's kind of like, we always get the bad part.
right?
So let's talk about the good part a little bit.
Absolutely, Commissioner. We brought in a new healthcare company that said, hey, the interesting part about it is these folks had never done jail healthcare before, but they had run clinics around the state and really around the southeast. And so they came in and are running our clinic now, and they've been very efficient. And I was just over there last week, and they said, we really feel like our inmates are getting better health care for less money. One of the things we did that saved us a bunch of money, y'all, is we brought our kidney dialysis in-house. This is something that had traditionally been done, and we have one inmate who's been at the jail for over 3 years who's needing kidney dialysis 3 times a week. Well, this is a very difficult situation because he's considered a dangerous inmate, so we have to take 2 deputies with him every time he would go outside. And that's difficult from an operational standpoint as well, because those 2 deputies are needed in the jail. And they have to go with him and spend 6 to 8 hours 3 times a week getting his dialysis. So one of the things we said in our new contract was, we need dialysis brought to the jail. And the new company we brought in, they have the capacity to do 3 dialysis patients at any one time. Right now we've got 1. We had 2 for a little while, then that second one went out. But we've had 1 guy who's been there for a long time. His dialysis is now being done in-house at the jail, and that's saving us, not only saving us the money that was costing us to go out to do the dialysis, it's also helping with operationally, because those 2 deputies get to stay at the jail. So, but there's been other improvements as well, but that's just a sort of the most shining example, I think, that we have of that. We do an awful lot of stuff in the jail now that used to be done at UAB or used to be done in clinics outside. That we also, I'll mention one other thing, Commissioner, we determined that much of the time we were having to have deputies away, much of the time we were having folks, was occurring between 4 o'clock and the time they turned the lights out around 10 o'clock at night. So most of the transfers out were happening then. Well, just to be blunt, that's when most of the fights happen at the jail. And so what we've done, what we asked for in this new contract and got done, we actually got a nurse practitioner who comes to the jail at 2 o'clock and stays from 2 until everybody goes to bed. Previously, that had not been done. We would have to, the nurse practitioner was leaving around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then when somebody gets in a fight, they just have to go to UAB. If they've got an injury, they have to go to UAB. Now we have a nurse practitioner at the jail who can sew up wounds, who can treat those people, and that person stays in until everybody goes to bed. So,
Yeah. We sometimes all that gets reported is our differences.
Right. Right.
So I just wanted everyone to know that it's not all bad.
Absolutely.
And that we're not always at odds. We work together 90% of the time.
Absolutely right. I'd say way more than 90% of the time, more like 98% of the time.
Let me ask you this.
Sure, Commissioner.
The inmates that's in the county jail, have they been sentenced already? Are they going to court?
Very few of them are serving sentences now.
Okay.
The huge majority of them are actually there awaiting trial. That's how now. I will say this: there are fewer people awaiting trial now than there were not too long ago, because there's new rules and the way folks get out on bail and things like that. But most of those people in our jail now, the last time I looked, Commissioner, I think there were 7 people out of about 850 that are actually serving a county sentence. County sentences are always less than a year. You can serve in county jail. There were 7 people over there. Now, we also have some folks that are federal inmates who are awaiting. They're going to testify in a trial over here in state court, where there's some reason, there's a small number of those, 15 to 20 of those at any one time. We also have folks who've been sent back here by the Department of Corrections because of probation violations and things like that. But every week, the Department of Corrections comes and gets folks out of our jail, takes them to the prison system. So the great majority, certainly well over 90% of the folks at the jail, are there awaiting trial for one reason or another. Yes, Commissioner?
So how is it that we have an inmate over there on dialysis and has been there 3 years?
He's been awaiting trial for 3 years.
Are you kidding?
I'll get in. So one of the major projects that we have going right now, we've been working, actually have a meeting tomorrow afternoon with the University of Alabama with a competency restoration program, Commissioner. Right now, if someone is determined they've they've said they're not competent to stand trial for one reason or another, those competency restoration services have to be done within the prison system. We can't do them at our jail. They're done within the prison system. Typically, the person is taken to Taylor Hardin, or they're taken to Bryce, and competency restoration is done there. There are folks who wait sometimes 3 and 4 years for that to happen. We've been working with the University of Alabama on a pilot program, meeting with them again tomorrow, where we can do competency restoration services within the Jefferson County Jail. If we do it, we'll be the first jail in the state to do it. And we certainly believe that we're going to be able to do it by bringing psychologists and psychiatrists into our jail to handle those competency restoration services. That's designed specifically for the person you're talking about, Commissioner, the person who's been there for a very long time.
So this person has been judged not competent to stand trial?
He's not been judged so yet. He's awaiting competency restoration services to see if he can regain competency in order to stand trial. Now, in this particular situation, Commissioner, I'll mention that he was actually released on bond. It was a domestic violence situation. He was released on bond. He violated the terms of his bond, and he had to come back into jail. So,
Do y'all keep stats on how many of the inmates are found that's in your jail?
we did.
What's the percentage?
It's pretty low. It's pretty low. But the great majority of those folks eventually plead guilty to possibly plead guilty to lesser charges, things like that. There's not a whole lot of them who are eventually acquitted.
But you do have some that's innocent.
There definitely are some. Definitely are some. There certainly are. And as Commissioner Tyson knows, I mean, one of the things that's a big question mark is, does everybody at the jail have the right to vote? Well, most of them do, because they haven't been convicted yet.
Because I was over there last week.
Right. And many of them are able to vote. Their voting rights have not been taken away because they haven't yet been convicted. They're simply awaiting trial.
All my clients were innocent.
Of course they were. Yeah.
You were a lawyer. That's why. You're a good lawyer.
I didn't do it, I wasn't even.
I know you're a good lawyer.
All right.
I didn't say they were. I didn't say they were found innocent. I said they told me that.
I know because you were their lawyer.
All right.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I get a motion, please, for item 1.
So moved.
It's been first and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I have a community grant for one step to fitness for our senior citizens.
Move it.
Second.
And first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This is the end.
We have Commissioner Scales, in fact, they will not be here today.
I move her agenda.
All right, she does have she asked for a presentation on Thursday. Do we,
She said she could do a call.
she said she would give me, well, I won't put it on the agenda. And, she gave me one, and I understand that Commissioner Scales would like to put a presentation on the agenda, but I do not know what the presentation is. Do you have any idea?
Just mentioned it would meet one of her constituents.
It would be done.
Recognition of my purpose.
Recognition, okay, that's fine. So, a recognition presentation, just for the commission to understand that.
I don't think that needs to be a vote, does it?
No, it doesn't need to be a vote. I just wanted to make sure that that we did have it, and I could place that on the agenda, if that's all
They send
right.
me the check.
So we're good to go with that. So the agenda has been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There is none. That was the one. Mr. Law,
Yes, sir.
do you have anything?
I do not.
You don't trust me?
Do I need to speak and look up in the? You know, I hope I'm doing it right. Anything from the deputy county manager, how about that?
No, sir.
No, sir.
The county manager?
Commissioners, I'm sure y'all seen this. I just want to congratulate y'all and the previous commission, Theo and finance. This is a great report. Y'all deserve a lot of credit.
Yes, ma'am, I'll get you this, I think I can get everyone, not all of them, yes, do that. Barnett, you've never been here and have more institutional knowledge than three-fifths of this commission.
Well, I want to salute Solomon, he did a great job. I think beautiful photograph. Everybody wanted to know why this commissioner tonight looked so angry all the time. that's the one thing that they got out of it. But
He's not angry, he's ugly.
but you know, I think as an editor looking at that story, one thing jumped out was that everybody seemed to be on the same page. And Solomon did 8 separate interviews, 5 commissioners, CFO, he did the county attorney, and he also did Tony Patella. But what you saw was everybody was singing from the same hymn. And it just shows that everybody has bought into a plan of progress for this county commission. You seldom see that in politics. So it says more about what you guys, the people at this table, have done, I think, we need to see.
I'm going to go use some more seats. Common goals, common sense, common ground. 3 more seats, if you can add to that, and we're retired here, and it works. And we put our partisan politics aside to get done what needs to be done for this county. And that is a testament to it. God bless each and every one of you with appreciation. That goes from the people who work, the laborers, all the way up to the county manager. And of course, the commissioners do what's expected by the citizens. We vote our constituent base, and we always respect that and make sure that everything gets done. Thank you. And what would you like to say, ma'am?
I just wanted to thank the staff, Cal, staff for coming out, and the finance team to talk to the citizens about the refinance. It was great. Great questions. They was able to get all of their questions answered. And Cal did a great job. Theo Oliver was there. Angela was there. Matthews, David Denner, and the other. Who was the other? Frank Long. It turned out right.
Thank you. Mr. Bowler?
I can't really add much to that. I wasn't here for the majority of the story that we started talking about. Was here at the end of it, but I am extremely proud of the commission. Honestly, if I didn't think this commission could have worked together on things like that, I don't think I'd be here now. That'd be my choice rather than the public's. But I really enjoyed it, and I've seen that when things are necessary, politics have been set aside, and not many areas the size of Jefferson County in this state or this nation could say that. So I'm proud to be a part of your team, even though I'm still a new boy. I'll do the best I can.
Commissioner Knight?
Well, Barnett,
Oh, my God. I asked it.
the reason I always look so angry is because Solomon goes, so that or my shorts are a little tight. I'm not Barnett, y'all helped do this. Y'all did this. This is our voting, every voter in the county. We have to, by law, publish this. And You know, we had to, Barry had to work at it because, you know, some told us that, well, since y'all don't have a newspaper of daily circulation, then you don't have to publish. But we do have a I think y'all partnered a little bit with the Alabama Messenger, not partnered, but I think we kind of split. But thank y'all for that. That's a lot of work. I was wondering why the trees would disappear out the
Can you get a copy of it?
Huh?
What can you get a copy of?
That's got my name right there.
Of this?
Yeah. It took about a week to play that.
And it's, I mean, it's a pretty good expense to the counties, and we're looking at, you know, do this online with all the technology today and stuff like that. But just wanted to say thank y'all for getting that done, because it had to be done, and I know Barry was stressing out about it for a bit, but, you know, it's done now.
But even if we do it online, you're gonna still need some more copies, because everyone is not online.
Good point.
So, and know how to work it, so you got to all have fair access to everything dealing with voting.
You never satisfied.
I never.
$25, I can get you a copy. Shooter, just.
One other thing I want to say is, Helen, the PIO office, they did a great job. When you see all of the wins from the county, all the stuff that you've done, from Protective, World Games, all the stuff, you know, Justin and Helen, they spent a lot of time gathering all that information. So they get a lot of credit for what was in that article.
Any other? Meeting adjourned. Had an hour, a lot of work.
People have to come before the district.